Have you ever just stopped and thought about the weird, unwritten rules of a conversation? You know how we can tell, like, instantly if a reply is helpful or if it's completely useless? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that. We're diving into the fascinating logic of what makes a good answer good. So let's just jump right in with the big question. What actually makes an answer a good answer? I mean, it seems so simple, but when you dig into it, it's surprisingly deep. What are those invisible rules that you and I use every single day without even realizing it? Okay, check this out. It's the perfect example. You ask your friend, "Hey, where are my keys?" If they say, "They're on the kitchen counter," boom, great answer. Problem solved. But what if they replied with, "Why is the sky blue?" I mean, that's not helpful at all. We know this instinctively, but how do we know it? What's the logic behind that feeling? And that, right there, is what we can call the answer puzzle. See, that gut feeling, that immediate sense of what's helpful and what's not, it isn't just random. It can actually be broken down, analyzed, and understood with formal logic. It turns out logicians have already been on this, and they have a specific name for this whole idea of helpfulness. They call it compliance. It's a way to formally and precisely measure the quality of a response in a conversation. So here's the official textbook definition. Compliance is a logical notion specifically devised to characterize the quality of responses and subsequent inquiries within a dialogue. Okay, I know, that sounds super academic and a little dry, but stick with me because the idea behind this is actually incredibly simple and practical. Let's just strip away the jargon. The easiest way to think about compliance is as a helpfulness meter for our chats, right? You ask a question, and this imaginary meter instantly gauges just how useful the reply you get really is. So if we have this helpfulness meter, what is it actually measuring? What dials is it looking at? Well, compliance really has two main jobs that help it figure out the flow of information in a good conversation. First, it characterizes the actual answers we get. And second, it helps identify helpful sub-questions, those little follow-ups that can actually move us closer to a solution. So let's take a look at each of those.
All right, first up, job number 1, characterizing answers.
So this is all about judging how well a direct response actually solves the problem you brought up. Our helpfulness meter can tell if an answer is full or just partial. A full answer, like "your keys are on the kitchen counter," totally resolves the issue. Done. But a partial answer like "your keys are somewhere in the kitchen" is still super helpful, right? It's still compliant because it makes a significant contribution. It narrows down the search space. It gets you closer to your goal. Okay, but this is where the idea of compliance gets really, really interesting with its second job, identifying sub-questions. Because it turns out that sometimes the most helpful response you can give isn't an answer at all. And this example just illustrates it perfectly. Imagine you ask, "Where are my keys?" A really helpful, a really compliant response could be another question, like, "Did you check your coat pocket?" That's a great reply because it brings up a relevant, much easier subproblem that helps you solve the original bigger one. It's cooperative problem solving in action.
So you might be wondering, where does a cool idea like this even come from? This isn't just some random theory. Compliance is a really precise tool that logicians use, and it's part of a much larger system for analyzing how we communicate.
It's a key piece of a framework called inquisitive semantics, or INQ for short. And this whole framework is built on a really cool idea that communication isn't just about stating facts back and forth. It's a dynamic, cooperative game where we all work together to raise and solve problems.
Now, compliance is just one specific tool in a whole big toolbox. In inquisitive semantics, its job is to map out how questions relate to each other. Other systems, like inferential eruditic logic, have their own tools that do similar things. The main point is they all share this common goal: to understand the hidden logical structure of how we talk to each other. And get this is not just some abstract philosophical theory. Because the logic is so well defined, researchers have actually built algorithms that can compute every single possible, compliant, helpful response to a given question. I mean, just think about the implications of that for a second. So let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. Why does a concept like compliance actually matter? What's the big deal? Well, it's because it gives us a clear window into the fundamental logic of cooperation itself. So, if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. compliance isn't just about being polite or giving good answers. It's a formal, logical tool that gives us a blueprint for cooperative dialogue. It's a way to literally map out how we humans so efficiently help each other with information. The source material really nails it with this quote. The underlying principle is cooperative dialogue aimed at information exchange. That's what this is all about, right at its core. It's the secret, logical engine running underneath our basic drive to help each other figure things out. And that leaves us with a pretty big, forward-looking question. As we build more and more sophisticated AIs, chatbots, virtual assistants, could this formal logic of helpfulness be the missing piece? Could it be the key that finally teaches them how to truly cooperate with us in a conversation, to not just spit out answers, but to actually help us find the answers together? Definitely something to think about.